So let's switch gears once again. I think I read an interview that you did. I think with Voyages a few years back, out of Dallas, and you have endured a lot of loss in your life, a lot of tragedy, and that unfortunately is definitely an unfortunate part of hip hop and rap. Sadly, but what keeps you keeping on, man? Like staying in the game, staying humble, staying positive. How do you do that, man? Because I follow you on social media. I see your life through that snapshot that you give us every day.
Right, right.
Such a kind and positive human being. So I need to know how you wake up like that every single day after everything you've been through, man.
Man, that's such a great question right there, Chris. I owe it all to my high power. I have an unshakable faith in my God, and I credit him with getting me up every day and getting me through each day and sustaining me in every way and looking out for me in every way that I can look out for myself. So that's who I credit it to, because yeah, it's been this old ship has been slammed up against a rock a lot of times. You know what I mean? A lot of holes, a lot of ways to get past stuff. But long story short, it's God. It's not even me. I give him the credit. I give him the credit. I've survived some things that most people would have given up behind or went crazy while going through. So it's got to be God.
Yeah. Just keep doing it, man. You're inspiring people out there, bro, for real.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I don't. Sometimes I don't know. It's hard to tell. You know, you can. If you are a house, you never really know what the outside of your house looks like. If you are the house, it takes somebody walking down the street to be able to stop and look at the house. Like, you know what? You need shutters right here. The
Mm.
paint's peeling out here. This yard needs mowing. Look like you can use a couple of shingles on top. Excuse me. So, I say that to say this: from this side, it's hard to gauge acceptance or like, or if you are even making an impact on anybody, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Man,
It never truly goes.
it's very difficult to see outside of yourself, man. It really
It
is.
is.
Truly.
It really is. And people don't think about that. No. I don't think people are. So I guess people are placed in a position where they have to think about it as much as I do. Maybe I'm not sure, but I think it would benefit everybody to look a little deeper into the scene. Because one of the worst things I think a person can say is, "I don't give a fuck what nobody thinks about me." That's a very wild phrase to me. I hear it multiple times a day, across social media, in person, in passing people. I hear. I mean, like, what is? Why don't you?
Man,
What you don't think nobody thinks?
shoot, just by saying that, you are admitting that you care what people think about you. Like, just the fact that you are thinking in those terms
Exactly.
proves the opposite of that, man. Like, yeah.
What are you talking about? It's a, it's,
Let's put it this way, man. If we didn't care what other people thought about us, we would not put clothes on when we wake up in the morning.
that's true too.
Period.
That's true too. Self-reflection is big. I don't think a lot of people do enough. You got to do inventory of yourself every day, man. You have to see,
Absolutely.
did I say that? Did I say that? Because a lot of people are so smart that they're dumb. And I heard a phrase a long time ago, like knowledge is power, and people don't really understand it. Knowledge is power, but that's a two-part statement. Knowledge is power, of course it is.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge is knowing what to say, but wisdom is knowing whether to say it or not,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what people don't have enough of. You have a
That's
lot of
right.
people with knowledge. You have knowledge, okay? You have knowledge; it's available, but do you have wisdom? You know what I mean? Knowledge is knowing what to say, but wisdom is knowing whether to say it or not, and that's the error that I found.
And not only that, but knowledge can come from anywhere and anyone, and it doesn't
Yeah,
have to be truthful. Wisdom is knowing what is true and what isn't, and
thank you.
and then knowing whether to continue to grab knowledge from that source after that point.
Exactly. Do you get it? Exactly.
Yep.
Wisdom is what you want.
Yep.
Wisdom is initially what you want. Knowledge is fine. Because I've seen old men that didn't graduate no more than like my old man, my dad, God rest his soul. I think he went to the sixth grade.
Mm-hmm.
Tops. You know what I mean? It was tough back then. They had to drop out. They had to work. They had to do things that I've never had to do. And a lot of those men and women that are from the 40s and 30s and 20s and things like that don't have a lot of knowledge. But the wisdom pool is so incredibly deep with them if you sit down and talk with them.
Hmm.
They can tell you things that you can't find in a book. You know what I mean? They can tell you things that living will only teach me that. No,
Yeah,
exactly.
they experienced more life than we do, man. That's just the way it is,
Exactly.
bro. Yeah, I mean that's just
Exactly.
yep.
I love that.
The struggles weren't the same, right? Like the struggles today are not the same as our folks went through back in the day. That's for damn sure.
You ain't lying about that, bro. And I love wisdom. I always have loved to stop and listen to people talk. I listen to people talk, and I never like people talking over my head. If I was when I was young and I was in a conversation with someone, or I was in a group conversation, the minute someone says a word or definition that I didn't know what they meant, it made me feel small. It made me feel away. And
Mm,
so as soon as that conversation was over, I head straight to a dictionary
that's right.
every time.
Yep.
It's not gonna happen like that feeling.
Man, my wife is a writer, and man, I've read so many freaking books in my day. I was an only child, so that was my social life growing up. Man, I would read a book, right? So, but I wouldn't hear. I would read a word, and if I didn't know how to pronounce it, I would just pronounce it the way my brain read the word. So as an adult, now I'm married to a writer. God help me, right? So a lot of these words that I created my own pronunciations for are not correct. So now when I say them out loud, my wife will say, "No, it's not pronounced that way. It's pronounced this way." And I'm like, "No, it's pronounced the way I read it when I was 4 years old or 8 years old. Do not
So let me
change my pronunciation."
as soon as I pronounce the right way, that's right.
Yeah.
You never heard it pronounced that right way until you met her.
No, no, because like I said, I'm an only child, and all the
But in
times
school, then. Not even in school. You never
not
heard it
really,
pronounced that
no,
way.
because we didn't really read novels and things like that in school. So we're doing textbook stuff, right? So like if I hear
Mhm.
like a word that comes from the old English or something like that, from a Charles Dickens novel or something, I have no idea how to pronounce it. I'm just reading it. So
I see
you
what you're
know what I
saying.
mean? So nowadays, like
Yeah.
I read audiobooks sometimes for people. Like I'll actually
Let me get
yeah.
involved with.
But like I'll play a recording back from my wife and she'll pick it apart. She'll be like, "No, that's not how you say that. That's go back and redo that." You know what I mean?
Thank
Like,
God for her.
yeah,
Thank God for her.
yep. But it's eye opening, man. Especially those old ass English words from like the 14th and 15th century, man. It's crazy, man. We got off track. It's all good though.